5 young men drove into the mountains of California after attending a basketball game. They were excited. The next day, they had a big tournament, but they never made it home. Days later, their car was discovered abandoned on a remote mountain road, miles away from where they should have been. And when investigators finally found the bodies months later, one of them had survived for weeks inside a cabin full of food. But for some reason, he never opened the supplies. What happened to the Yuba County Five remains one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries in American history. The group became known as the Yuba County Five. Their names were Gary Matthias, Jack Madruga, Bill Sterling, Ted Wire, Jack Hewitt. The men lived in Yuba City, California, and were close friends. All 5 had mild intellectual disabilities, but they lived independent lives and loved playing basketball together. They were members of a local team called the Gateway Gators, and on February the 24th, 1978, they attended a college basketball game at California State University in Chico. They had an important game of their own the next day. Friends said they were excited and eager to return home early to prepare, but they never arrived. After the game ended around 10 p.m., the group left in Jack Madruga's 1969 Mercury Montego. The drive home should have taken less than an hour, but the next day, the 5 men were missing. Their families reported them gone. Search efforts began immediately, and then investigators made a shocking discovery. 4 days later, a forest ranger discovered the group's car. It was sitting on a remote mountain road near Oroville, California. The location made no sense. It was 70 miles away from their route home. Even stranger, the car was not stuck. It still had gas, and it could have easily been driven away. Inside the car, investigators found programs from the basketball game, candy wrappers, empty soda bottles. Everything suggested the men had been in the vehicle recently, but the 5 friends were nowhere to be found. Around the same time, a man named Joseph Shons came forward with an unusual story. Shons said that the night the men disappeared, he had a heart attack while driving on the same mountain road. While waiting in his car, he claimed he saw a group of people with flashlights nearby. He even shouted for help, but no one responded. Investigators believe he may have seen the missing men. But why were they in the mountains? And why didn't they help him? Heavy snow made the search difficult. For months, investigators found nothing. Then in June 1978, nearly 4 months after the disappearance, motorcyclists discovered a trailer deep in the mountains. Inside the trailer, they found a body. It was Ted Wire. But what investigators discovered next made the case even more disturbing. The trailer was part of a Forest Service camp. Inside were supplies meant for emergency situations. There was enough food to keep someone alive for months. Canned meals, dehydrated food, matches, warm clothing, blankets. But most of the supplies were untouched. Ted Wire had died from starvation and exposure. Investigators believed he had survived for 8 to 13 weeks inside the trailer before dying. even stranger. His beard had grown significantly, meaning he had lived there for a long time. But he never opened the available food. Not far from the trailer, searchers found the bodies of Jack Madruga and Bill Sterling. They had died from hypothermia. Another victim, Jack Hewitt, was found nearby. But the fifth man, Gary Mathias, was never found. To this day, he remains missing. Gary Mathias was the only member of the group with military experience. He had served in the army and knew survival skills. Investigators believe he may have been the one guiding the group through the mountains. But if that's true, why did they abandon a working car? Why walk miles into deep snow? And why not eat the food inside the cabin? Some investigators believe the group may have been running from something, but no one knows what. Over the years, several theories have been proposed. Theory 1, they got lost. Some believe the group simply became disoriented and drove into the mountains by mistake. But the road they were on was far away from their normal route. Theory 2, someone forced them there. Others believe they may have encountered someone dangerous on the road. Perhaps they fled in fear. But there was never any evidence of another person. Theory 3. Gary Mathias survived. Because Gary Mathias was never found, some believe he survived longer than the others. Perhaps he left the trailer to search for help. But if he did, he was never seen again. More than 45 years later, the mystery of the Yuba County Five remains unsolved. 5 friends left a basketball game and somehow ended up lost in the freezing mountains. 4 of them died under strange circumstances, and the 5th man vanished completely. The reason they went into the mountains remains unknown. Somewhere on that dark mountain road, something changed the course of that night. 5 young men entered the wilderness. Only 4 were ever found, and the fate of the 5th remains a mystery. What do you think happened to the Yuba County Five? Let us know your theory in the comments, and subscribe to Unsolved Mystery Files for more unexplained disappearances and true crime mysteries. Because sometimes the most chilling mysteries are the ones with no answers.